And here we are, the 6th and most recent season of The Walking Dead.
With a sane Morgan finding his way back to Rick at Alexandria, things are about to heat up.
Let's find out just how much of an understatement that really is. I'm Ian Start.
And I'm Brian Mitchell.
And this is the Skybound Rundown.
Now that Rick has proven to the town that he means business, the residents must decide whether or not they like said business. Not only that, it's discovered by Rick and Morgan that there is a literal sea of walkers trapped in a valley by a couple of big rigs. Oh shit! But don't you fucking worry, Rick's got a plan. They're gonna herd the walkers like cattle to get them out of striking range of Alexandria. Alexandria has no choice but to help or be eaten. Like this guy.
Let's see what the town is up to. As Carol is about to school all the other women in cooking, Denise is learning to be a doctor, and Ron resents the shit out of Jesse for supporting Rick.
God damn it, Ron.
But this town's got bigger problems. After finding some of Aaron's lost photos of Alexandria, a group of savages called the Wolves attack our hero's home.
You gotta be more careful, Aaron.
They try to smash through the gates, but instead crash the truck into a tower, sending the horn blaring.
Honk, honk. After
Alexandria loses some citizens, Carol goes ballistic and tears their shit up. Those who can fight, fight, and those who can't, die. Except for Morgan, who refuses to kill, but the wolves have been fended off.
The gang struggles to keep the walkers together, and... What the heck is that? Rick then sprints his ass to Alexandria and runs into a few wolves, but no worries. The others move to keep the herd going. Glenn, Michonne, and the others get held up in some buildings while trying to hide. Glenn and Nicholas go to set a fire to distract the walkers, but get stranded atop a trash can. But Nicholas just can't take it any longer. Kaboom! Glenn!
Let's push pause on Glenn for a moment. Ever wonder where Morgan has been? After regaining his wits, Morgan leaves his crazy house and ventures into the wilderness. He comes across another house and a goat, and approaches the situation terribly. Enter Eastman, a man trained in Aikido who is determined to rehabilitate Morgan.
Hey, I like this guy.
That's the biggest load of horseshit I ever heard.
Not only that, he teaches Morgan to fight while thinking about the goodwill of your opponent. No more killing. But once Morgan warms up to him, but thank God the goat is okay. No! And back to the present. Morgan has taken one of the wolves hostage.
Rick, he's returned! And so have a few guests. He ensures the town that they're safe, and the others will make it back. Maggie, meanwhile, is anxiously awaiting Glenn and decides she needs to go find him along with Aaron.
Safe travels, Maggie.
With no safe way out, they turn back. Maggie reveals that there's a baby in her oven, and she won't give up on Glenn. Tara comforts a distraught Denise, who still doesn't believe in herself. But their love grows like a blossoming bosom.
The March of the Penguins continues, but is swiftly interrupted by some guns. Sasha and Abraham get separated from Daryl, who meets a new friend named Dwight. He escapes their evil clutches, but he realizes that he stole this girl's insulin.
Diabetes, you son of a bitch!
He returns the medicine to them, only to see that girl get eaten and robbed of his crossbow.
Dwight just crossed the wrong Daryl.
We're sorry.
You're gonna be.
Sasha keeps safe in a building with Abraham, whose heart begins to flutter for his companion. Daryl meets up with them in a gas tanker, and the trio heads back to Alexandria.
Hey, Glenn! Turns out he didn't die after all! Hooray! He crawls out from under Nicholas's body to the trash can. He runs into Enid, whose fear of having to fight has led her to run away. He chases her down and convinces her to fight for Alexandria and the one she loves. They head back to Alexandria to send a signal to the others inside. Rick and Carol question Morgan about his new methods, and he tells them that he encountered some of the wolves before.
God damn it, Morgan.
It's time Alexandria learned how to fight. After some lessons in head splitting, one of the towers falls and obliterates the wall.
The citizens scramble as the dead pour in. Denise starts to tend to Morgan's prisoner while Carol tries to kill him, but Morgan won't let that happen.
Get out of my way, Morgan!
After they tussle, the wolf takes Denise prisoner. With the others, it's a tussle fest as Carl and Ron fight in the garage and Deanna has been bit. Carl, being the righteous dude that he is, doesn't rat out Ron and the group covers themselves in walker guts. Time to escape.
Driving on home, driving on home.
What in the holy shit?
Abraham, Sasha, and Daryl have a run-in with the Saviors, who threaten to shoot them all until... While Morgan, Carol, and the others get Denise back, Rick tries to get his group to safety. In a super crazy emotional moment, little Sam and Jesse are torn to shreds. To save Carl, Rick mans up and chops Jesse's arm off.
Another love, another loss. Sorry, Rick.
Ron sees his chance to get even with the Grimes. But Carl gets a boo-boo.
I see you, Carl.
That's it. Time to fight. Rick and the community heat things up a bit as we're joined by the rest of our crew.
Alexandria has survived, and the people recoup. As Rick and Daryl head out to gather supplies, they hit the fucking jackpot. Enter Jesus, not Christ, who hijacks their vehicle and findings. After a lengthy pursuit,
So long, you prick!
the truck decides to take a swim.
God damn it, Jesus.
Back with the others, Michonne and Carl follow Spencer as he heads into the woods and finds his closure. When Rick gets back, he finally gets it!
We should talk.
After Jesus spoils Rick's getting it,
Carl.
he offers to take them over to his commune. On the way, some of his runners are trapped, and the crew saves their asses.
Bunch of ass-saving heroes.
Once they arrive, they meet Gregory, the boss of the group. Watch out, Greg! Stabby, stabby. He's stabbed by one of his own to appease another group called the Saviors, led by a leader named Negan.
Who the heck is that?
But Rick don't play that shit. Maggie makes a deal with creepy old Greg. If they take out Negan and the Saviors, Alexandria gets
Half of what you have.
You've got yourself a fucking deal.
cookie time, cookie time, cookie time.
Carol makes some cookies and starts some romancing with Tobin. But the heavy burden of killing is beginning to take a toll on her. Is having people to care for worth all this bloodshed? Meanwhile, Abraham ends his romancing with Rosita.
God damn it, Abraham.
It's time to kill us some Negan. Rick and all who volunteer devise a plan to break into the Savior's stronghold, steal their weapons, and kill them all. After they fake Gregory's death, of course.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
They break in and wipe the place clean. As they're about to make their way,
We've got a Carol and a Maggie. I'm thinking that's something you want to chat about.
Maggie and Carol are in the fucking shits. Captured by a group of Saviors, they're tied up and held in a nearby building. The two are separated, and Carol does some pretty fine acting as a helpless religious type.
someone give this woman an Oscar.
She uses a rosary to cut herself free and gets Maggie. The girls give the captors hell just in time to be found by Rick and the others.
Eugene takes Abraham to a large metal workshop and unveils his plan to make some bullets.
The perfect currency.
But Abraham leaves after insulting Eugene's ability to defend himself.
You'd had better luck picking up a turd by its clean end.
Meanwhile, Rosita and Daryl take Denise on a run to get medicine. She finally proves herself when
Goodbye, Denise.
it's motherfucking Dwight. And they have Eugene! After a tense moment, he rats out a hiding Abraham and bites Dwight in the wiener.
Don't get ahead of yourself, Dwight.
The Saviors run off and our crew heads back to Alexandria.
Love is in the air. Glenn is getting it in the shower. Rick is getting it in the sheets. And Abraham is thinking about getting it with Sasha. But don't you worry, viewer. All hell breaks loose. Daryl makes an emotional dash out of the gates, and Glenn and Michonne follow suit with Rosita. As her guilt grows heavier still, Carol sneaks out of Alexandria in the middle of the night to save herself from more killing.
Rick doesn't like this one bit.
Carol runs into some thugs. She sure doesn't want to kill them, but... As Rick and Morgan track her, Morgan tells Rick about the Wolfman he kept alive. He tells Rick to go home, and this might be the last time they ever see each other. Glenn's team catches up to Daryl, who is hunting for Negan's men. Rosita joins Daryl, who sends Glenn and Michonne back. He ain't stopping until he has his revenge. However, Glenn and Michonne get captured, and so do they.
Morgan finds a horsey. Hooray! He gallops on his merry way and tracks down Carol, who's being shot up by a survivor from the firefight on the road. Morgan kills this son of a bitch. But Carol once again asks him to leave her alone.
Carol, you're one strong little lady.
And just before all hope is lost,
Knights of the Kingdom? Thank fucking God.
the gang packs up. They gotta get Maggie to the baby doctor at the Hilltop. They make their way, but they're met by Negan's men in the road. They They are outnumbered, so they turn around. This happens about 30 more times. They make their way on foot, but that doesn't work too well either.
Hey, at least the real Negan hasn't shown up yet. Oh, well, fuck me.
Get on your knees, bitches. The bat-wielding maniac has arrived. They have a nice civil conversation, and no one really seems that scared. Negan takes his sweet-ass time, and once he decides... Who the fuck did he just hit? Was it Rick? Carl? Daryl? Michonne? Rosita? Glenn? Aaron? Eugene? Abraham? Sasha? Maggie? What is happening?
Someone most definitely died. But we won't find out until Season 7 of AMC's The Walking Dead, which premieres this Sunday, October 23rd at 9/8 Central. The first 6 seasons were a doozy, but we'll be back next Monday with an all-new round of rundowns.
But on what, Baby B?
Our very own comic book series, Invincible.
Subscribe to our channel and like and comment on the video below. Thanks for tuning in to our first season of The Skybound Rundown.